Right, here we are back on Eurotruck 2, and we are on the Republic of China map, or what's known as the Roads of Chunghwa map. It consists of, let's just change that screen. It consists of Taiwan, which is here, of course. What we have is we have a mod in to take out Europe, although it doesn't take out all of Europe, but we won't be using this part of the map anyway. We're in China, and we are based in Guangzhou, I think it's called, which is a huge city in this southern part of the map. We have a 4,200 mile trip, which is all along here, right up to here, probably get into the mountains or something like that. The map continues all the way up here. So it's probably about, I'm guessing, 7,500 miles long, this map. And we're going to start a trip right now, but we will be doing this in probably, I'm guessing, maybe 3 parts. This will be part 1, and we'll go and see how we do. There's also a little island down there, Hainan, down there, which you could go to occasionally, but we're focused on this job that we have right now. The first truck we could buy was from the Mercedes dealership, which we've done, and the only thing that's modded in this truck is the engine, which you will hear. I think it's an 850 horsepower engine. I've got a mod for the engines for the truck installed, which is quite a good sound, like an open pipe sound or something like that. So we are delivering garlic, believe it or not. I never really check what we're delivering, but we're delivering garlic from Guangzhou, Huangpu, China to Zhejiang or Zhejiang, which pays out £205,000. It's, as I said, 4,000 odd miles, and let's get it done. Well, let's start doing it anyway. We won't get it done. Right. The other mod that we have installed is the graphics mod, which is cloudy at the moment. So off we go. And there's my hitchhiker, never a word said out of it.
Have a pleasant drive. Well, as pleasant as you can have with us 3 navigating your route.
Now, where the hell do we get out? There. Quite a good engine sound. Now, we will cut across here because it's probably telling us to go up there and go down, but we'll just cut across because, in fact, look at that bloody car. Have I got my lights on? No, I don't think I have. Let's check that out. Yeah, get them all on, just to annoy people. What time of day is it? It's 4:10 in the afternoon, and 4,500 miles to go. We'll get another mod installed as well, which is a fuel tank mod, which has 632 gallons of fuel for a range of 5,500 miles, as you see on the info there. So we're fine for fuel. Yeah, this part of the map, it's fairly sparse because I think this map doesn't need you to have any DLCs in it. So it's using quite a lot of old assets from the original game when it first came out. And it's one long drive. There are some sort of weird bits in it that I've driven on over the years. There's a weird thing in the mountains. I don't know whether we'll see that by the end of this trip. So off we go. And we will be driving in daytime because when it gets dark, even though I've got good headlights, I'd much rather drive in the daylight so we can see the landscape. There's some big big Chinese statues, or big idols, or whatever you want to call them. Big gold ones sitting around the map somewhere. Now, this map I downloaded, again, pay credit to Bogdak, that's his channel. That's one of the guys I subscribe to. He uploaded the files for the map, so if you want to get the map and you want the install order for the map, go to Bogdak's YouTube channel, subscribe to him. He puts up lots of map mod combos with all the download links as well. So this is representing one of the huge cities in China. Although you don't see much of the population, I don't think they've even got any human beings walking around or AI walking around. Sort of funny light at the moment with the clouds in the sky. Prior warning, this map could crash at any time, because this is really the first big trip that I've done on it, but you do get crashes in maps, so be aware of that. Till it's dark, and when it does get dark, we'll pull into the first fuel station and we'll take a rest so that we're starting in daylight. It takes quite a while to get out of this city, if I remember rightly, because it is bloody huge. That's one thing they've emphasised. These are old assets from original Eurotruck. These junctions, a bit like what you would find on the Mario map, because the map's so old. And this is a very old map as well. thing about this map is that on this main route, the speed limit fluctuates so many times. It goes up and down like a bloody yo-yo. So at the moment the speed limit's like 75, I've got the truck speed limiter off. Down to 31 mile an hour just because it's a tunnel. There is a Facebook page for this map, although everything of course is in Chinese. I think there's about 17,000 people subscribed to it. I joined it yesterday, but I can't make head nor tail, even with the translation. I don't know whether there's anywhere on the Facebook page to download the map. I have no clue. I'll need to have a longer look at it, which is also another reason why I don't know whether they're actually adding anything to this map. It doesn't seem that there's been a great deal added to it, if anything, over the years. I don't know whether they're intended to update anything on it or nothing. So now the speed limit is suddenly going up to 50. We're still in this big city, or we're going from like one part of the city to another part of the city. It's huge, but eventually we'll get out into the country. Get the cruise control on, and this is sort of what you would imagine to be one of these big Chinese cities anyway. The type of smog that's in the air, you know, there's an awful lot of traffic and all the smog hangs around the city as well, so that this is a pretty good representation of the way the weather is at the moment.
Top of the Grand Tour, and then continue straight. Continue straight.
Of course, we've also got the Grand Tour GPS mod installed so that James May can confuse us. And it's rapidly getting dark. And it's only 6:23 in the evening. All the road signs are in Chinese symbols. Christ knows what that means. There's no point in reading them.
Continue straight. Continue straight.
To 75 now. And it's slowing down again. No sooner has it gone to 75, but we're back to 50. What did I tell you?
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
To the next fuel station. It's 20 minutes to 8 at the moment. And it's back
Continue
to 50.
Straight.
Just as I'm accelerating, it goes back to 50. It's gone to 68. Now it's changing again, back to 75, then jumps back down to 50.
Continue straight. We're at 75 again. right, and then exit right. Exit right. Continue straight. Continue straight.
Right, here we go. We don't need to top up the fuel, but I've done it anyway. Right, so we'll have daylight now. There we go. Let's look at the map. See, this is a huge built-up area. It's at least, 200 or 300 miles long. This part itself, with all these sort of cities merging into one another to a big, huge conurbation, as they call it. It's quite a size. Limit drops again. Gets to the point where you just ignore
left,
it.
The top of the Grand Tour. And then continue straight. Continue straight. Continue straight.
industrial area there.
Continue straight. Continue straight. Exit right. Continue straight. Continue straight.
That's us finally out in the country.
Continue straight. Continue straight. Continue straight. Continue straight.
These clouds are going to clear. That's 2 days of it we've had so far. Continue straight. To see if I can get past him and pull in, because we're on cruise control at 50 miles an hour, and then we'll be back to 70 in a minute. Another big city there. Yunfu it probably is called, I think. So we've got 4,140 miles still to go. This is part one, I hasten to remind you, because we won't be doing all of this afternoon. We'll probably need at least 3 episodes to complete this trip.
straight.
Tells you to go left to continue in the main route. It's not going to rain because I've got the rain off. Right, here we go, 75 miles an hour for a little while again.
Continue straight. Continue straight.
Wait a minute, why is it tell alright, we're still going straight on. I thought we were meant to go right there for a second, but that's into a fuel stop. I think it was only telling me just to pull into the inside lane. We've gone from sort of there to here, and we've driven through like probably 300 odd miles or more of large cities. So we did eventually get out into the countryside, but you can see there's other cities along the route. And then we are heading up here. I'm sure we're heading into the mountains because you can look at the road here. There's a lot of spaghetti here, a lot of twisting and turning. So that'll be for probably part 3. We'll go for a little while yet because what time is it? Well, it's not quite my dinner time yet, but we'll go along and see if we can get a fair chunk of it in. This is the first tunnel I've seen with a pedestrian walkway in it. I've never seen that before, or at least it looks as if it's representing a pedestrian walkway on the right hand side with a safety fence. Jump to 75 in a minute. gathered along beside us. Oh, there's something burning. Where's he going? Oh, he's back there now. Chinese countryside again. By him. We can get the bloody indicators to stop. We've still got 583 gallons of fuel, so I think we're okay for now.
Then continue straight. Continue straight.
Right, we've got a loop here onto the road above. This is a sort of agricultural area. He was trying to sneak past me there, I just cut him off. us now, so he's now breaking the speed limit.
Keep left at John the Grand Tour, and then continue straight. Continue straight.
undercut this caravan. maybe tomorrow game time we'll get maybe a clearer day, a bit of bright sunshine.
Continue straight. Continue straight.
If this guy's already pulled out. I was just wondering by the time I got up to him there, he would pull back out in front of me, that guy, and cut me up again.
Continue straight. Continue straight.
Wait a minute, I never noticed the chat there. Hang on a minute. I don't know whether anybody's still there. Because the chat's not showing on my phone again. That's bloody crap, this thing. Got to go to all messages. Eduardo Silva Psicopata. Yeah, a channel that streams pool and billiards, well, virtual pool 4 that is, and plays Euro Truck. Welcome.
Continue straight.
Some blue sky, but it's practically night time. So it might be a better day tomorrow. right, for the best, and then exit right. Exit right. wrong with a good set of lamps on your truck. You can see for miles in front of you, full beam on, auxiliary top and bottom on as well. I mean, the fact that the AI drivers in the opposite direction are actually blind for life doesn't matter.
Keep left,
The top of the Grand Tour.
and then continue straight. Continue straight.
I think we've almost done 1,000 miles already. We're down to 3,600. I'm sure we started at 4,600. I'm pretty certain we did. So we're now looking for a fuel stop to take a night's rest. It's now 8:17 in the evening, game time. And driving in darkness, you don't get to see any of the landscape, which is no good. It's been a while since the last we passed the last fuel stop though. Just to chat on my phone for a second. Not that there's any chat, but so that I try to do that and not crash at the same time. Be a fuel stop coming up pretty soon. Or a resting place anyway. Still no fuel stop. Not that we need the fuel, but we're wanting a resting place. Then I can go to the bathroom as well. Well, here we go. We've got one coming up. This'll do. Right, I'll go to the bathroom. We're back in a minute. Right, now, we've got blue skies and fluffy clouds on day 3. So let's go for it. See how much more we can get in.
Continue straight. Continue straight. Continue straight.
Says it's 50 miles an hour, but sometimes you get buggy things like that happen where it says 50 miles an hour, and then if you go off, no, it's still 50 miles an hour. So those guys are speeding. Oh, those mountains just appeared, or hills, whatever you call them. Well, that's not the mountains we'll be going through, much further up the map. But we might be going through some right now, maybe a tunnel or something, I don't know.
Continue straight.
While ago when I played this map, there's a sort of diversion just slightly off-road for a little bit, and I wonder if it's still in the map. It probably is. I can't remember how far it is, but we might be getting close to it. And when I say close, we could still be 300-400 miles away from it, I don't know. We've gone up to 75. but for how long? That's the question. It'll probably accelerate to it and then it'll go back down again. Something like that. Another big city.
Continue straight. Continue straight. Continue straight.
through some sort of range of mountains. Cutting right through them. to think we will. Where the hell's the fuel? Oh, there it is. Over 200 gallons of fuel. Yeah. Right, let's check this chat on the phone. Right, in fact, let's have a quick look at the map. Right, so there's where we started in Guangzhou, the great big city down there, or cities down here. That's as far as we've got. We've actually travelled about, we started at 4,600 odd miles. So we've done roughly 1,600 miles. And up there is where we're going, Xichang, all the way through the mountains, apparently. At least it looks like that. I think I've been this road before, a long, long while ago, and there's weird things happen, or at least there used to be weird things happen on this area of the map. Like, for example, the very first time I was driving, I'm assuming it's somewhere up this direction, but the very first time I drove along this mountain area, it could be somewhere else in the map. I'm thinking it's there. Big boulders are sliding down the mountainside. You've never seen that in any other Euro-Truck game or any other Euro-Truck map. I mean, I don't know whether they've kept that in or whether they've taken that out of the map over the years, but like I say, this completely happens out of the blue. It's weird, really weird, but we won't see that today. We're going to probably do roughly another hour, and in about 25 minutes, I'm going to put my dinner in the oven, and then we will call it quits for part one of this trip. So the China map, that's Taiwan. This is where our base city is, or where our garage is. I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere in amongst that. This is a huge area. And there's a little island, Hainan, down there. We're not using Europe. For some reason, the No Europe mod doesn't quite work with this area, but we're not using that area anyway. We're just using this area for the China map. So let's go on and do a little bit more now that we've got some good daylight, good sunshine. A bit more of the scenery. Now, I said earlier, right at the beginning of the video, the reason I've got this map installed is not through my own hard work, but through Bogdac, Bogdac, that is his channel on YouTube. I have subscribed to him and many other guys who put map combos out. He has a video on his channel, and it will show you how to load this map. It will give you the links for the download to this map, and you can have it up and running within 5 minutes. This big, well, I think it's a big V8 engine. It should get us through the mountains, no problem, as and when we get to them.
Continue straight.
over to the right. No idea why that bridge is there. It's not going anywhere.
Continue straight.
Those electric cables are a bit low. Continue straight. Oh, wrong lane. big tall mountain there. That's weird. Oh, another big tall one. I think we're going a wee bit too fast. I mean, it's crazy. There are straight parts of the road which are down to 50 miles an hour, and yet we're going through this twisty section through mountains, and the speed limit is 75. It does not compute. There's no logic in it at all. That's the crazy part. I mean, this is the sort of section of road through mountains that you would think would be, 50 miles an hour, but no. Let's have them flying round the corners at 75 miles an hour. There's a fuel stop, but we don't want that because it's far too early. It's still just 5 p.m. Suddenly it's dropped from... It's still at 75, now it's dropped to 50. What the hell have we got here? Traffic lights. How we do? We've got traffic lights in the motorway. Well, the little box van guys back in front. Now, why the hell's he reversing? What the hell's going on with this guy? That was weird. Like I said, weird things happen in this map. Where the hell's that going? Well, curiosity's getting the better of me. I've got to have a look. I've just gone back the way. Oh, aye. See where it ends up. Is it going to a company or something? Oh, I think I drove this road at one time in the past, but the truck I had crap headlights, and I think I crashed into half of the trees down this road. There's that cottage we passed, sort of embedded into the hillside. It goes on for miles and miles and miles. And it's actually, it probably just joins this main road. Oh no, wait a minute, where are we going? Could I have taken this road from that side? No, it's now gone under the motorway. Ah, right. So that's this looks like the scenic route that we could have taken. Yeah, it's above the main motorway. What the hell's that? That's a problem with the, what do you call it? The skybox, I think. I think that's what it is. Anyway, that road seems to just track all the way back. Right, well, that's enough of that. Oh, wait a minute. I've decoupled the truck. Hang on.
Seatbelt on.
We don't want to do that.
Begin the tour. I'm ready. Ready yet?
Right.
Al?
The route tour is not responsible for operational advice or the smell coming from bubbles.
Cruise control on it, 56 miles an hour. So the speed limit's either going to jump to 75 or it's going to drop to 50. You can play this game all the way along this road because the speed limit jumps up and down like a yo-yo. At the moment we're stuck at 56 miles per hour, that is, not kilometres. Well, we seem to have lost the mountains, or the first batch of mountains. It looks as if it's opening up a wee bit. Although you never know, mountains could just pop in the horizon at any second. So we've now just almost down to 3,000 miles, so we've definitely done 1,600 miles. And and we're coming up to a city or a town called Funing, and hopefully there's another fuel stop just up ahead or not too far ahead, because that's where I'm going to park up, go and put my dinner in the oven, and then I'll be back to do the last half hour of this session. Right, we're back up to 75.
Continue straight.
I mean, although I've got loads of headlights in this truck, I never like doing a stream and driving at night, simply because everybody wants to see what the landscape looks like. I could drive at night and there wouldn't be a problem, because I can see like 3 miles ahead with this set of headlights I've got on this truck. But I'd much rather see what's going on round about me. We're beginning to lose daylight. Now it's a race to get to the next petrol station. That there's this detour where we have to go on a dirt road for a little bit. I don't think well, we're certainly not past it because we've not driven on it, but I'm not sure whether it's still in the map or not. It could have been removed. Dark before we get to that fuel stop, so you'll definitely see the headlights working. Well, not just the headlights, the top auxiliaries and the bottom auxiliaries. It's like broad daylight at night. Psychedelic tunnel. Well, if this doesn't bring on a migraine, I don't know what will. fast with these bends. Well, we're already at 9. It's 7:45. I need to have a quick look at the map. Yanshan. Where are we? Where the hell are we on the map? There we are. Well, there's the next fuel stop. That's probably about another, I'm guessing 60, 70, 80 miles ahead. Something like that. In fact, it's not coming soon enough. I'm just going to nip down, get my dinner in the oven, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, we're back. So we've got about 25 minutes left of this session. And all we want to do is just get to that fuel stop, take the overnight rest, get back to daylight. Game time, it's almost 8 PM. We're now down to 2,883 miles still to go. We might actually do this just in the 2 sessions rather than 3, because the huge chunk of this map is like this route here that we're on. So you can keep up a reasonable average speed. Can't be that far to that fuel stop. Thought that was a car beside us there for a second. Now what we got here? Roadworks. Yeah, merging traffic. a Catholic I've got on board this trailer, but it must be fairly heavy. It's a steep drop as well. That's why it's handy keeping the cruise control on. That'll always keep us at that steady 50 mile an hour. And now we're down to 31. I told you that fuel station was, you know, maybe 80, 90 miles ahead, and there's still no sign of it. Didn't think it'd be that far, but obviously it's further than what I thought. .9:27 game time. Why is he pulled out to the outside lane? I don't know, but I'm going to follow him. Probably because there's an exit ahead. Yeah.
Continue straight.
Roadworks again. Up top looking for this bloody fuel station for the overnight rest. It's now 10:15 at night. If it's any longer, oh, there we go. It's finally appeared. So we've got about another 20 minutes to go. What's the weather like? It's blue sky and fluffy clouds again. That's good. "7:25 a.m. in the morning." Now, is this the diversion I was talking about? I've been talking about it for a long time. Yes, it is. This is where we go off-road for a little bit. Well, it's still here in the map. I thought I'd get rid of it, but it's still here. Now, we've got a problem up ahead. Something's stuck. Right, we need to have a quick look at that before we make a move. Unless it's traffic lights that they've got on the... Yeah, it is. They've got traffic lights there as well. Well, it took us a good while to get here. I thought it was a lot closer than this. Goodness knows how long it is since I've played this map. It's a good number of years. I think we're basically just up and over the hill and back down and onto the main route again. I think that's all it is. God, it's taking a while, these lights. I don't see any other oncoming traffic coming along. Ah, there we go. Let's see if it's still set at 31 miles an hour. Let's just go into the hard shoulder till the speed limit disappears, and then we'll go back on, see if it's actually correct. Yeah, it is correct. Can't see the reason why though. Wrong lane again. Or whether we're just on a raised road. Well, it is, it's just raised. Well, we're on a bridge now, but yeah. Up here, I think. Looks like we're turning. Well, we're either leaving this route or we're the road bends away around to the right. I'm not sure whether we're taking a right turn or not, but it looks as if it is though. So where's that on the map then? Yeah, we're going right turn here. And then still away, a good bit away from where we're supposed to be going. Now all of a sudden we have a 25 mile an hour restriction. Why the hell for?
Keep right
For the best.
and then exit right.
Yeah, this is where the road ends at this point.
Exit right.
This is as far as we go in this motorway. Oh, a bit of flickering landscape there on the right hand side. That just needs to be placed properly and it'll be fine. That's how you end up getting that flickering where two layers are sort of not quite merged properly, or one's too high, one's too low. That could easily have been fixed. Again, it's all down to folk being too much in a hurry to put maps together. They don't double check their work, because that's just an annoying thing that catches your eye each time. So now that we've left that main route, we could be heading back into sort of some weirdness or whatever, I don't know. Right, I've got 5 minutes left till the end of this session, or the end of part 1. So, I'm either going to pull into the side of the road here, or I'm going to pull into a fuel stop, but that might be quite a bit away yet though. We'll get the foot down a wee bit. There it is up ahead, I think. Well, hopefully it's in this side of the road. Yeah, right, that'll do us. And we'll just top up the fuel, not that we need it anyway. And we'll just abandon it at the fuel pump. Right, so that's the end of part 1, and we have done approximately 2,000 miles in this session, right from down there in Guangzhou, or whatever the hell it is called, down in amongst there somewhere we started, and we've done 2,500 miles, with 2,500 miles still to go, roughly, and probably some fun and games when we're going up through these mountains, I would imagine. Looks like quite a chunk of that to come. So, that is it for this session. Thanks for watching. Hope you can join us some other time. It might be part 2 tomorrow afternoon. We'll have to see how things are. But if you want to catch up with part 2, it will be on my channel at some point, no doubt. So until we meet again, take care, good afternoon, and we'll see you again soon.